I'm still here, guys. Sorry I haven't put out a video in literally years. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not Aviation 101 or Flying Doodles. I really just don't have interest in doing that. But I'm active on Facebook and a couple other areas on the 310 owners groups. And people have been commenting saying, oh, we missed your videos. So I thought I owe you guys an update. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through, people tend to like my operational cost videos. So I've got 3 annuals under my belt with air impressions and Waco. Big money, but the plane's in great shape. And then I'm going to update you on my RV10 build. And then I've got a little bit of an announcement about selling the 310. So let's get into it. So last video was in 2023. I put out a tongue-in-cheek video about my exorbitant annual costs, which we'll look at here in a few slides. But here's the summary. Over the last 3 years, I've basically flown 100 hours a year. So I'm using the airplane pretty consistently. Fuel prices have trended downwards. If you look, there is a top line of points across the top there. That's one airport in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. See them all in a line. And then there's some kind of clustered points near the bottom. That's Mount Pleasant, Texas, where I have a property. So that's the cheaper fuel. And then all the points in between are just kind of the other various airports that have landed at over the last 3 years. Insurance. Here's a big key learning for me. I've switched to a broker a couple years ago. Back in 2024, Avimco wanted to up my premium by a little over $1,000 a year. So for me, I'd never used a broker. I didn't really understand the point of it, and now I totally do. It was a big win. I used Wings Insurance up in Minneapolis, in that area. The broker saved me $1,000 and kind of actually slightly lowered my premium. The big deal for me, the last 3 annuals were with Air Impressions in Waco, Texas. These guys are twin Cessna specialists. They're not cheap, but they know what they're doing, and your airplane is perfection every time it comes out. And the one of the co-owners, Bobby, he's a really great guy. He understands that this costs a lot of money, and obviously in 2023, when we took it in, the annual, I mean, it was outrageous. It was almost $38,000. There were so many things that needed to be fixed, just decades of neglect, decades of issues. But Air Impressions was really good. He's like, we don't have to do all this at once. So yeah, believe it or not, the original estimate was way more than $38,000. But so we broke things up into projects over the next couple of years. So the 2023 annual inspection was almost $38,000. It was 190 hours of labor. And I can't honestly tell you if there was anything other than the big ticket items that added up. It was just scores of little small airframe and engine items that we had to work through. But the big ticket item this year, the big project, was the nose section. There were cracked ribs. And once they dealt with that, of course, they had to pull all the gear out. So they replaced all that, did all the sheet metal work. Then the entire nose section was chromated, was primed. And of course, then they had to put all the gear back in and rig it, etc. That didn't put me off using Air Impressions. In fact, I'm a glutton for punishment. I want my plane to be perfect. So I took it back the next year to continue on some of these projects. The second Air Impressions annual in 2024 was $33,390. That year was 125 hours of labor. And we finished off a lot of the little small airframe and engine items. And then the big ticket item this year was the side brace kit. We had already discovered the previous year that I had little small cracks in the ribs where the gear attaches. And this is a very common problem on 310s. Pretty much all of them need the side brace kit if they don't have it. And then as well, because they pulled everything out, everything was, the gear system was IRAN'd, inspect and replace as necessary. So a lot of the labor and parts were in bushings. They rebushed everything and kind of tightened everything up so there was no slop or play in the gear. So what is the side brace kit? It's really just a doubler that goes on a rib. Here's a picture up under the wing. And I mean, I'm doing sheet metal now, as I'm going to tell you about a little later in this video. I'm actually building a kit plane, and it boggles my mind, but this thing's around 20 grand between the labor and the parts are actually really cheap. The actual side brace kit right now, the list price is like $1,100. It's just a couple steel doublers, but there's a lot of labor involved, and of course they have to drop the gear out again to install this. So yeah, I'm glad I did it though, because it's a big deal for resale. Last year, the third annual was $24,900. The labor hours keep dropping every year. It was 78 hours of labor, and it's just kind of more catch-up items. And then the big things is went ahead and had the tip tank resealed and new engine mounts on both sides, which kind of added up. So, and it's in annual right now, 2026, February 2026. It's in at Air Impressions for its fourth annual, and I don't anticipate anything major this year. I had very few squawks, so they're pretty much just gonna do hopefully a standard annual. So the first three annuals with Air Impression were almost 100 grand. $96,085 is what I spent on three annuals. And I know somebody's going to go, Billy Bob does me an annual for $4,000. Well, yeah, if you get a Billy Bob annual, this is what happens. You end up with a gear collapse or corrosion or something pretty major. So here's the yearly summary. So from left to right for each year, we're going to look at the year, the hours flown that year, the average avgas price, the total maintenance spend, including the annual, so that's including oil change and any other little mid-year squawks, my insurance, and then the total spend, total annual spend. So I don't mean the annual inspection. I should probably relabel that, but that's the total I spent that year. And then just divide that by the number of hours I've flown to get the cost per hour. So basically, if you just skip all the way over to the left, my cost per hour is going down, but it's way more since I've been going to Air Impression than it was back when I was getting my plane annualed in Houston by a shop that really was not a 310 specialist. It's just kind of a bulk standard maintenance shop. No complaints about them. It's just they're not familiar with 310s and twin Cessnas like Air Impressions are, but my cost has gone from $640 to $557 to $510, and I'm hoping I'll get down into the 400s this year. So I do have an announcement. My announcement is I am selling the airplane, not because of the horrible costs of the annuals, but because something I'm going to take you down to the garage to show you now. Let's go. This is my project. This is why I'll be selling the 310. When the pandemic started, I decided to fulfill my lifetime dream of building my own kit plane. What you see is a Vans RV-10, which is a 4-seat kit plane, manufactured obviously by Vans Aircraft in Oregon. I'm 1,300 hours into the build, making really good progress. There's 5 kits. There's an empennage kit, which is all completed and in storage. It's the first one. The second one is the wing kit. Wings are done and in storage. The third kit is the fuselage kit, which I'm just completed recently by attaching the cabin top, and I'm working on the instrument panel. The next kit is called the finishing kit, which will be mainly the doors and the main seats and the engine mount. And then finally, number 5 is the firewall forward kit. So that's where I'm at, and I think I'm 1,350 1,300, 1,350 hours, somewhere in that range into the build. And I'm about ready to place an engine order and order my avionics. So there'll be a Lycoming IO 540 on front here, and that is almost 100 grand. The prop will be, I think it's 20 or 25. And I'm putting the Garmin G3X system in. I've already cut my panel for that, and that system, including a GNS 750, will be almost 60,000 bucks. And on top of all that, I need to do the paint and interior, so I need the funds. Hence, I will be selling the 310. So, I am working on the advertisement. I haven't decided on a price just yet, but I am doing the text. So here's the specs on the plane in case you're interested. And this video isn't meant to be an advertisement for the plane. I'm just telling you the specs on 69744, which you've seen in my videos. So it's a 73 Cessna 310Q. The previous owner told me it's a 74-year model, but when you go in an FAA database, it lists as a 73. The airframe total time is only 4220. Interesting story behind this plane that the previous owner told me. I'm the fourth owner. So this plane flew like 2,000 hours between 1974 and the early 80s, and then it was just parked. So the first owner flew it a lot. Then the second owner bought it, and basically it just sat. It sat around throughout the 80s and the 90s without flying at all, maybe just a few dozen hours. The third owner, the guy I bought it from here in Texas, really nice guy, he basically went through the whole plane and redid everything in around 2000, 2001. So he put factory new Continental IO 470 VOs, and they have 1280 on them now. So that's total time since new. And yes, factory new, not since overhaul. The props have about 660 hours on them. They were overhauled in 2015. And this thing is a load hauler. Its useful load is 1789. And if you fill it up with 140 gallons of fuel, its full fuel payload is 949 pounds. Avionics and equipment. It's got dual Garmin G5s for the attitude indicator and the HSI. It's got a Garmin GNS 530 with WAS, which a few years back I had overhauled and they replaced the screen. If you've watched my videos for a long time, you'll know that I had an old Bendix King Navcom number 2. I replaced that, I think it was last year, with a Garmin GNC 215 as my Navcom number 2. And then it's got a Garmin GTX 345 transponder with ADS-B in and out with traffic and weather. As well, I think 3 years ago, I had the avionics shop here put in a new audio panel, a PMA 7000B that has streaming, so you can, I can't remember if it's Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, but you can basically stream audio from your phone or iPad to it and listen through it through the headsets. Of course, the big thing that I spent a lot of money on, I think it was 4 years ago, is the S-Tech 3100. I went with the full enchilada here, so with the yaw damper, and then I've got altitude pre-select on the G5 and the heading bug on the G5 tied into that. And that includes electric trim, and of course the autopilot will auto trim the electric trim. I kept my backup vacuum AI, so it seems a bit silly in this day and age, but we were planning on doing some Caribbean trips, which never happened, but maybe long over water stints. So I still have the vacuum pumps on each engine, and I still have a vacuum attitude indicator. I guess if everything goes tits up, that would be still working, at least electrically, if everything electrically went haywire. I've got the engine monitor, the JPI, got a strike finder, dual USB ports, and when I had all this work done with the autopilot, we put in a new screen printed and painted panel, and then it's got a newer style RTX 401 megahertz ELT. As far as engines and propellers and mods and everything, As I mentioned, it's got 2 factory new engines installed in 2001 by the previous owner. Low oil consumption, the compressions are stable. The oil consumption it's using maybe a quart every 15 hours on each engine. Compressions are stable. They're not super high. They're in the high 50s to the low 70s, but I graph them and chart them every year. They're stable. They're great, reliable engines. I've got gammy injectors, 4 new magnetos installed a few years after I bought it. Both alternators were overhauled this year with new drive belts, and it's got new batteries. The fuel injection system was overhauled just before I bought it back in 2017. It's got Macaulay props, which are overhauled in 2015. I already mentioned the batteries. Right after I bought it, I had a new Hartzell cabin heater installed because I like to fly above 10,000 feet, so that thing gets used like 9 or 10 months out of the year. So that doesn't have any ADs on it. It's good to go. And as I already mentioned earlier in the video, I've had all this stuff done by Air Impressions, the landing gear rebuilt, and the side race kit installed. The fuel selector valves are overhauled. Gear rigged at every annual, that's a big thing. Already mentioned the nose section being redone. It's got 140 gallons of fuel, so 50 in each tip tanks and 20 on the inboards. And of course, all ADs are complied with, and it's got the MEB 88 fuel pump mod. So if you're shopping for a 310, you'll probably know what that is. Pretty much every 310 out there, 99% of them have this mod. It was a safety mod due to a fuel pump issue back in the 80s. So they will mostly all of them will have that by now. So there you go. 3 years since my last video and a 100 grand pour. I am selling the 310. Like I said, it's not an easy decision, but it kind of is because I'm ready to move on with my RV10 kit plane. So I will be putting 69744 on the market in April. It's an annual right now as we speak. I dropped it off at Air Impressions in Waco last weekend. So I anticipate I'll have it back toward the end of February. And then I've got some trips planned in March. We have visitors from Europe, planning on using it, doing a bit of touring around the US. And then probably early to mid-April, I'll be putting it on the market. So please don't ask in the comments how much I'm asking. I don't know yet. I need to do my market research. So, but there we go. So what about the channel? It's not ending. I'll probably rename it from Jason's 310 to Jason's Planes, and I'll try to post something periodically. I will be probably renting or joining a club or maybe buying a share in something. But I do need to get my equity out of the plane so I can start making a real push to get the RV10 finished. So anyway, thank you for watching my videos. Again, I apologize that it's been so many years, but I'll try to do something else here interesting soon. So thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Oh, one more thing. You guys, you're lucky. You owe me thanks. In all these years of my channel, I've not done one of those stupid thumbnails where I'm going like that in the thumbnail with a picture of my plane. You're welcome.